Parents, imagine this. Your teen is alone in their room. Their heart is racing. The craving for pornography hits like a wave. And inside their head, a voice whispers, "You can't handle this discomfort. Just one quick look won't hurt. You need this right now." And that voice isn't your teen's true self. It's a set of sneaky mental tricks called cognitive distortions or thinking errors. And these automatic lies twist reality, weaken resolve, and push teens straight toward relapse. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how these distortions work in pornography addiction, why the teenage brain is especially vulnerable, and most importantly, practical tools that you as a parent can use right now to help your child challenge them and to regain control. So, if you're a parent who's felt helpless watching your teen struggle, this video could be the turning point. Stick with me, you won't regret it. Hi, parents. I'm Matt Bulkley, licensed psychotherapist, and your host here on Parent Guide channel. And for the past 25 years, I've helped hundreds of families break free from pornography addiction. And in my therapy practice, and with the families that use the Recovery Toolbox for Teens program that I developed, one truth keeps emerging, and that is relapse isn't just about willpower. It's about faulty thinking that the addicted brain uses to justify giving in. And understanding these cognitive distortions or thinking errors gives you and your teen superpowers: early recognition, real conversations, and lasting recovery. So let's dive in. So, what exactly are thinking errors or cognitive distortions? Well, they're biased, automatic ways of thinking that convince us that something untrue is reality. Psychologists Aaron Beck and David Burns popularized the concept in cognitive behavioral therapy and CBT therapy. They're the brain's way of reducing short-term discomfort, even when it causes long-term harm. And in pornography addiction, these distortions become mental traps during cravings. The brain desperately wants relief, so it distorts reality, making the urge feel unbearable or that a relapse seems harmless. Well, why does this matter so much for teens? Well, the research shows that cognitive distortions explain up to 17% of the variance in internet addiction, including compulsive porn use. According to a study in 2022 by Olsparlock and colleagues, it's published in the Journal of Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Nursing, catastrophizing, personalization, and selective abstraction were the biggest predictors. The teenage brain is still developing, especially the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for impulse control and decision making. And that makes distortions extra powerful. A 2015 review in Behavioral Sciences on the neuroscience of internet pornography addiction, it highlights how these changes impair judgment exactly when teens need it the most. So let's look at the three most common thinking errors or distortions that I see in my teen clients who are battling porn addiction. So number one, catastrophizing. So your teen thinks the discomfort of a craving is unbearable and will never end. And it's thoughts like, "Well, I can't stand this feeling," or "this urge will last forever." And this ramps up anxiety and hopelessness until giving in to the impulse feels like the only escape. But the cravings are temporary. Research on behavioral addictions show that they peak and fade in between 10 and 20 minutes if you ride them out. So help your teen reframe. This feels intense, but it will pass. I've survived it before. Thinking error number two, the just one fallacy. So if I look just once, it won't matter. One relapse won't ruin everything. And this minimizes consequence and it lowers the barrier to relapse. A 2023 study in addictive behaviors found teens who use these early justifications are 40% more likely to escalate quickly. One slip becomes a full binge because the brain has already given itself permission. So teach them every choice matters. The just one is the lie that restarts the whole cycle. And number three, emotional reasoning. Things like, "Well, I feel so overwhelmed, so I must fail," or "feel like I need this, so I really do." Well, feelings are powerful, but they're not facts. A 2019 study in Counseling Psychology Quarterly showed that naming and challenging these distortions can boost recovery success by up to 30%. So when your teen says, well, I feel like I can't resist, gently ask, well, is that a feeling or a fact? Or is it just a temporary wave? So, parents, when cravings hit, these three distortions team up. Catastrophizing makes the pain feel endless. Just one makes the slip feel safe. And emotional reasoning says, well, the feelings demand action. Well, the still developing teenage brain, specifically the immature prefrontal cortex, does weaker brakes on impulses. And neuroscience research on porn addiction shows that the reward system gets hijacked, making quick relief feel like survival. Well, relapse isn't a willpower failure. It's a perfect storm of distorted thinking and neuroscience. But here's the good news. Once you recognize the pattern, you can interrupt it. Well, let's turn knowledge into action. Here are 4 proven strategies that I use with families every week in the practice. So number 1, encourage open conversations. Create a shame-free zone. So when your teen shares a craving, I want you to ask, well, what exactly are you telling yourself right now? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, how true does that thought feel? Or what would you tell a best friend saying the same thing? These questions expose the distortion without casting judgment. So strategy number 2, teach them to label the thinking errors. Give the lies names. Well, that sounds like catastrophizing. Or remember the last time that the craving passed in 15 minutes? Or is this the just one trick? And naming the thinking error reduces the power instantly. And it's a core concept of CBT therapy. Strategy number 3, use distraction plus delay techniques. Delay is your friend. Suggest things like a 10-minute walk or push-ups or music or journaling, and remind them discomfort is temporary. Let's wait 20 minutes and then check in. And the journal and pen image that you see on screen, well, that's exactly what I recommend. Writing thoughts down breaks the automatic loop. Finally, number 4, connect them to a therapist or a support group, or use the recovery toolbox for teens program. And then model it yourself. Share when you catch your own catastrophizing. Remember, teens learn by watching. And when you understand these mental traps yourself, frustration turns to empathy. Then you stop blaming and start supporting. And over time, your teen builds stronger thinking patterns, which then lower relapse risk, and your whole family grows closer and healthier. Parents, if pornography is causing real distress, don't wait. The Recovery Toolbox for Teens is a structured, evidence based program that's designed specifically for adolescents and their parents. The link is in the description. You can get it in the bookstore at www.therapyassociates.net. It includes the Breaking Free workbook, the Parent Guide, and the 101 Tips for Quitting Porn workbook. You can use it as a parent-led intervention or together with a therapist in your area. And it's the curriculum that we use here in our offices at Therapy Associates, in our outpatient clinic, and in our Star Guides program. And parents, for severe cases, things like high risk behaviors, sexual acting out issues, reckless online behavior, emotional crises like suicidality or self-harm or depression or anxiety, or when home support is just not enough, or in cases where you no longer have any influence in your teen's life, then Star Guides Wilderness Therapy offers intensive, clinically proven intervention to stabilize and to rebuild. You can learn more about Star Guides at starguides.net. Parents, thanks for joining me today. Make sure to subscribe for weekly tips, strategies, guidance, research, parent strategies, and support in the recovery journey. Remember, you've got this. Your teen is not broken. They're fighting a battle, and you can now help them win. So I will see you in the next video. Take care.